been practicing my TEDx speech since the age of 14. And now 10 years after, when my dream was finally materializing into a reality, I was dumbfounded. I was absolutely blank. I had no words coming out of my mouth and I panicked. I was wondering, why is this happening? It's not because I have nothing to say. To the contrary, I feel everybody has stories and experiences that are worth sharing. It's only a little later that I realized the root cause of this was the cause of all the major issues in my life. Pressure, pressure, and only pressure. Pressure to impress, pressure not to disappoint, pressure to succeed. I feel all of us have fallen prey at some point in our life to this idea of an ideal life and what it means to have an ideal life. It begins with getting good grades in school, which eventually leads to getting a job, which eventually leads to making money, which then leads to having a successful life or a failed life. And all along, we give in to all the standards that are set by society. Sounds like a lot of pressure. But I'm not here to be a therapist or to be a philosopher. I'm just here to talk about my life and talk about concepts that have helped me make some decisions in my life and hopefully might help you too. When I was growing up, I was extremely academically driven. I had only 3 things on my mind: good grades, and Hrithik Roshan. I was the head girl of my school and I had blinders on that, I have to do well in school, then I have to do well in college, then I have to get, graduation degree, and then a master's, and then by 25, I have to buy a car, by 30, I have to buy a house. And that was the way forward for me. And all along, there were a lot of words that were thrown at me, like profession and passion and ambition. And not once did I sit down and really think about whether they all meant the same thing or anything different. I felt like if I picked a profession, in something that I was passionate about, it was a sure short ladder to success. So I started looking at all my passions, and I had varying passions, like I was passionate about baking, I was passionate about helping animals, I was passionate about traveling, I was passionate about performing. So I dilly-dallied between career paths. I wanted to be a veterinarian doctor at one time. I wanted to be a pilot for the longest time. I wanted to be an actor. It's only much later that I realized my mistake. Is why I'm talking about it today. My parents actually sat me down and they told me a story which completely changed my life. It's about a 20-something girl whose one aim in life was to be successful. That's all she wanted. That's all she thought about. She woke up and she was thinking about being successful. When she was sleeping, she thought about being successful. She dreamed of being successful. So she went to her mentor and she asked him, "Can you please give me the key to success?" And she kept asking him, until one point he told her, "Okay, meet me on the beach at 5 in the morning." So she went really excitedly and said, "Oh my God, today is the day I'm going to, get the key to success." So she showed up and he said, "I'm going to ask you 2 questions. And she agreed. He asked her, "How badly do you want to be successful?" And she said, "Extremely badly. That's all I want. I've not slept all night. This is exactly what I'm made for. I want to be successful." So he said, "Okay, enter the ocean." So, a little skeptically, she ventured in. And he kept telling her to go further in and further in. So she kept moving forward into the deep ocean. And she kept swimming until a point when she started to drown. And then she was clawing and gasping for breath and yelling, "Help, help, help." And after some time, her mentor went and he rescued her and got her back to the shore. And once she gained back her consciousness, she was exasperated. She was livid. She was just like, "Are you insane? I could have died." And he said, "Oh, I need to ask you my second question." She couldn't understand what was wrong with him, that, she was almost about to die and he wanted to ask her the second question, but he did. He asked her, "When you were underwater, what was that one thing you wanted?" And she said, "I wanted to breathe. What else? Have you completely lost it?" And he said to her very calmly, "When you want to succeed as much as you want to breathe, then you will be successful." This story absolutely changed my mind. I realized that I was passionate about wanting to buy a car at 25 and buy a house at 30. And only when you're really, really passionate about something can you use it as inertia to propel you further in life. I'd already set these milestones in my head without having a path to build them on. So that's what my parents told me. They told me to create a path for myself before I even begin setting milestones for myself. And they sat me down calmly and they told me to think about what I really enjoyed doing and what I could see myself doing for the rest of my life. And that's when I shifted my focus towards performing. I was performing in school and college all my life. Like, I used to take part in debate competitions, in poem recitations, in dramatics, in theatre, state level, national level. And that was truly the time that I would really come alive and I would be really happy. And I had a realization that performing is that one thing I wanted to do as much as I wanted to breathe. But that was just the beginning of my journey. There was a long way ahead. Any profession that you pick is laced with tons of hard work, a lot of blood, sweat and tears and joy. So I started working hard towards what made me happy. I finally got the confidence to pick it as a profession, and up until then, I could never look at myself in the mirror and say confidently that, I want to make a profession out of this. But I started doing classes, I started auditioning, and that's how I began working. And it's been a beautiful journey up until now, and it's just the beginning. But I was wondering, why was I so fearful? Why didn't I ever take the plunge? A lot of us look right and left before crossing the road. I don't know if any of you all do that, but I do that all the time. And I realized, why can't we just use that and apply it to our real life, Just be cautious instead of being fearful. Cross that road, but be cautious and, work hard towards it so that you become certain. Let's not be fearful. If this also still doesn't help you, give you clarity about what probably you want to do in your life, then I'm sure you guys have at some point used, these apps which help you find directions like Google Maps or anything like that. And when the artificial intelligence asks you, in 150 meters, turn right. Without batting an eyelid, we turn right. So when your heart truly tells you that, Shreya, I don't want to be a copywriter, I want to be an actor, why are we so fearful? Why do we think twice? Why are we so scared to fail? Yes, we all want to pay bills and nobody wants to fail, but we can learn from our failures. And you have only one life. And a very wise man once said, Zindagi lambi nahi, badi honi chahiye. I really believe in that concept. So I did exactly that. And I really feel that that is one idea which has really changed my life. And I hope it can help you change yours. But there's another factor that comes into all of this. And that again is pressure, pressure, pressure. How do we create an environment that is devoid of any kind of pressure? How can we create an environment that when we're taking decisions, we're not pressurized by any kind of factors, be it external or self-inflicted? That will only happen if you not only follow your dreams, but you allow other people to follow their dreams as well. Live and let live. When you see somebody turning right in their life, and they can be turning right as many times as they want, when you realize that somebody is doing something that they want to do as much as they want to breathe, support them. Help your friends and family, be there for them. If they falter, pick them up. And that's the only way we can create a safe environment for ourselves to make decisions that are devoid of any kind of pressure. When I hear of a doctor becoming a dancer or an engineer becoming an actor, I also hear people say, ki, what a waste of a seat, If that's what they wanted to do, why didn't they do it from the beginning? Or when a lawyer becomes a dancer or any profession, there's a switch in any kind of profession, you will hear people say, oh, maybe that person wasn't good at what they did. So they were just wasting their time. Let's not do that. Let's not judge people. Let them be, let people make their mistakes and learn from their mistakes, and let's help each other. To sum it up, I just want to say that don't make your life all about picking a singular passion and making a career out of it. Choose your profession for the right reasons, and trust me, your passions will follow. I want to end this speech with something that a meerkat and a warthog taught me. Hakuna Matata.